Inside out, bottom to top, top to bottom, outside in, proper procedures and workflow. Psh, whatever, I do what I want. All right, when you're working with somebody else's time and money, that stuff is important. When I'm in my own garage, working on my own car, that stuff will just turn it into a job. And I don't want another job. I want to have fun out here. I want to be creative out here. I want to be excited about what I'm working on and stay motivated. And even though we're far from ready for interior work, it's fun and exciting and motivational. We got a couple projects going on here. The 78 Chevy LUV hot rod mini truck project and the 28 Model A, the formerly Yard Art hot rod. We'll be back on this soon. Got some plans for that. But today, I want to have some more custom interior fun. Only took 2 bruises and 3 scars before I did it. But putting those red blankets on those suicide hinges has saved my back more than once. I'll tell you what. Unfortunately, I started those hinges before this YouTube thing. But that's okay, because we'll be doing them on this too. We got a couple dollar store pieces of poster board carefully and strategically put in there. They're not quite as long as they need to be, so we're gonna tape them together. We're just gonna kind of mark it where it goes under the dash. Magnets. I'm telling you, magnets are a huge help around the garage. Give it a little trace job on this side. We'll have to get this seat out of the way so we can give this a quick guesstimate of where to cut the bottom. These seats are out of a 67 Mustang, a rotten 67 pimped out Mustang. You should have seen the mink covers on them. They came out of the same yard as that 56 Mercury dash, like a vintage salvage yard in Wisconsin. The dash and the seats, $100. That was a deal. They even cut the dash out for me. I'm probably not going to use these prefab truck boxes. I'll probably make my own. But I think I'm only going to do one sub and then use one of these boxes to make a storage compartment or for electronics. We'll see. But for now, I had them in there to place the seats and everything. Why isn't my marker marking? This marker's been good to me. Guess it wants a day off. So I was just pressing on that and then trying to trace the floor. We'll see how close we got. We're gonna end up having to pull that table back out. Make this stuff a whole lot easier. I hate working on the floor. Oop. Wow, I'm actually pretty surprised. It's pretty dang close with just our pressing on the board and guessing. We got just a little bit of trimming on the bottom. Snip. We'll cut the top too. Dang pigeons keep landing on the truck every day. Fits pretty good. Fits real good actually. But that panel we make is gonna get wrapped in a vinyl. And we're gonna have carpet. Anyway, we're gonna have to make room for that vinyl and carpet. I'll have to find a scrap of both around here so we can figure out how thick it is, so then we know how much to take off the bottom. But for now, we're gonna leave it just like that. And I just remembered, I'm out of glue. I gotta get some on the way so we can finish those panels. I used the contact adhesive from Weldwood, the Landau top and trim. I sprayed out of a paint gun, like a cheap Harbor Freight one, but it can also be brushed on. They might actually make this in an aerosol can too. Yep. That's $29 for one can though. I think I'll stick with the way I'm used to it. I'm gonna get a new spray gun too. Cheapest one I can find. It's for glue. $29.98. That'll work. Sold! I'll put the Amazon links to those in the description of the video. I don't know much about Kicker comps, but I acquired 2 of these, and this box is way nicer than those crappy prefab ones that I wasn't really gonna use anyway. But if I use these, I wouldn't have to make one. And they're ported too. I don't know what they're tuned to. Don't know anything about them. But I honestly don't care about any of that right now. What I care about is how much better they fit in this truck. They fit in there perfect. And they're a smaller profile. Give those subs a little more breathing room behind the seats. I don't have a lot of experience with Kicker, but I'm about to. I'll give them a try. And if for some reason I hate the subs, I'll stick something else in them boxes. Anyway, that's not what we're doing today. Had to make a mark here where this console starts to taper towards the glove box. Not sure how we're gonna accomplish that yet. But like everything, we'll figure it out. We got a 4x8 sheet of 1/2 inch MDF here. Medium density fiberboard. We're gonna see how far we can get with this. At 51 bucks a piece, I'm hoping we get by with just one. Oh! We'll save this. Chances are it won't work on the other side because the floor is probably different, but just in case. I have it temporarily screwed into place. There's a good gap along the bottom for carpet. Haven't cut the top yet. Still cut a little tall because it's going to end up kind of overlapping the console just a little bit. This is a piece of 1/8 inch masonite, hardboard, whatever you want to call it. We're going to cut a strip out of it in the shape of the top of the console so it sits on top. That should give us a nice little overlap look, a level effect with a path down the middle. So that'll work, but I decided an 1/8 inch isn't enough, so I cut 2. We're gonna glue them all together. So looking at the driver's side here, it's actually a lot closer than I thought. It's pretty much all the same, except we can add a little bit right here. We gotta do this one a little different because I don't have any more clamps. We're gonna glue them all together on the table and put something heavy on it. Wrong side. Glad I caught that when I did. I got something heavy to put on it right here. So I'm thinking while we wait for glue to dry, we can come up with a design for the side of the console. Something with the 50s vibe, like we're going for with this whole thing. It's super easy to get carried away and design some transformer looking thing. We want to keep it simple, mid-century, Art Deco or whatever. We're gonna end up putting T-nuts where we screwed this in though. T-nut. So we'll wanna keep the design down here. Most of that'll get covered up behind the seat, but I think it'll still be cool. Just kind of a swoop from here down to there, then up the back. So these mounting holes that we've drilled in both of those, they're all placed in an area where I can get my hand in a hole on the top of the console through the cup holder or the pocket or the phone charger area. I could reach in with a screw and screw the panel to the console. And those screws will screw into some T-nuts we're putting in these panels. We got both of these screwed up in here? No, not screwed up. They're actually in there pretty good, but they're not perfect. So we're gonna make them perfect. I think those have been sitting long enough. We'll see if we can take these out without breaking that mud apart, especially where we gobbed it on by the dash. What? Now before you go getting your pants in a wad, it's interior stuff. It's fine. It's getting wrapped with vinyl, not painted. Stuck pretty good. So this is 1/4-inch tape, and I put it on there because we're gonna trim the top of that. I only want a 1/4 inch to be sticking up higher than the console. Hopefully we could do it without breaking this all apart. It's not too bad. A little modification there, and I think she's good to go. All right, I got T-nuts pressed into these. Had to countersink them a little bit because we don't want them to make little bumps in our vinyl. We're gonna put some body filler over the top of them so this panel stays nice and straight. Put some machine screws in the back so we don't push mud through the holes and screw up our threads. So we ran a 1/2 inch round over in the router rounded that edge. Looks really nice. But I want to do the inside one too. It worked. We didn't screw it up. If that doesn't look like a duck flying through the air, I don't know what does. We're gonna see how big of a pain in the butt it is to get these screws in from the backside. We got one up here, one there, and we're just gonna do a screw back here. That one might prove to be hard. Maybe from the other side. I can get it from that doubled-in radio opening, but if there's a radio in there, I'm not going to be able to. So I'm going to try to get it around the back of it. Got it! We are going to end up doing something cool on the sides. But for now, I want to get something going back here. That way all the panels are done and together in just wood, and then we can figure out if that's actually the design we want to do, because maybe once it's all together, we'll come up with something else. Know what I mean? There's a starting point right there. We're just gonna build off of that somehow. We'll continue with that next time, so make sure you're subscribed. ltscustomgarage.com for merchandise and one-of-a-kind pinstripe art. All the proceeds go to making more of these videos. See you out there. There.